So the idea of the hypothetical is to test your answers and to see what you guys obviously come up with. Put your ideal man in mind, right? This guy's tall, handsome, he's successful, he's busy, he's on his grind and everything. What do you think this guy wants? What do you think he wants? Go.
What do I think he wants? He wants someone to confide in and be there for him. Probably as a busy man, you have a lot of conflicts throughout your day. So somewhere that he can come home and feel comfortable and feel like, we can have a conversation. Say there was a problem. Like, we can have a conversation and not get all up in our feelings and feel stressed out by, I don't know, just someone that's there for them. Because it's hard nowadays to have someone who genuinely cares and you feel like you can confide in them no matter what. So just to be that for somebody else, I bet that's what they want.
Okay.
From my experience and my question and talk with men of all levels, I think men, first thing they like is loyalty and somebody that can listen and understand, somebody that they can come to and talk on any subject and they find it smart, and somebody that can give them sometime advice. This is a great partner when you can be a little bit of everything together.
I would just want to be his peace. Yeah, simple.
You think he would want peace?
Yeah, especially if he's successful. Obviously, he's doing something that's important. Most people don't have someone they can confide in, speak to. Yeah, I would just want to be his peace.
Anything else you can think of?
Nope, that's...
What does it mean to be someone's peace?
That could be a lot of different things. Sometimes they need a shoulder to cry on. Maybe someone to put a smile on their face.
This guy's someone who never cries.
That sounds like a problem. That sounds like a major problem that needs to be fixed.
So someone who doesn't cry?
Yes.
Why does water?
That means you're.
Show emotion?
Why do you have to summons tears? Why do you have to have moisture coming from your face to be normal?
To get something out. There's obviously built up tension inside of you. If you feel like you have to cry about it, there's some sort of overwhelming feeling inside of your body. And if you're not tapping into those feelings that make you feel like you're gonna cry, there's something wrong. You need to express that and get that out before you put it out in different ways. Because if you're not crying or feeling some sort of sadness when you're overwhelmed or sad, then you're definitely putting it out in a different way. Oh, you want to fight? Oh, you want to push someone away or act a certain type of way? Like, there's something behind not feeling able to cry.
Men who don't cry is not available emotionally.
There we go.
What if they love going to the gym and just punching the shit out of the boxing bag? And that's the way that they do it, and they never cry.
But then that's not just focusing
Tell
on
me how
the
it's
actual
different.
feeling.
Tell me how one is a better emotional release than the other.
It's called suppressing. When you go to the gym, you elevate your endorphin. When you're emotional, you lower all your guards and your walls, and you actually submissive a little bit. Not submissive, but you are
so you want the man to be
vulnerable.
submissive again. So anyways, back to what you were saying. How is it a better or worse release of energy? Because I would definitely claim that going to the gym and hitting the boxing bag for an hour is
I think that's really
better.
I think that's really
But
important.
it's the same thing, because what you essentially said is that this is like an energy build-up. You've got things inside you and you need to release, right?
But
so
I
if you
feel
need to
like
release it, and then my way of doing that is going to the gym and hitting the bag for an hour, and then your way of doing it is to cry. Like, why is my way worse?
I'm not saying that it's worse. I just think that you're not tapping into all of it. You're not tapping into your actual emotions. Okay, we're getting out the anger. Anger is a mask of sadness or something else. It's not just anger. You don't just get angry and be angry for no reason.
So you think that somebody can't cut you off in traffic,
Well, of course,
but you're not actually angry yourself?
Okay, but no. Someone cut you off in traffic, you're angry, and you're going to go punch a punching bag about it?
Can I ask
Come on, there's something you need to work on.
So what I said was, if somebody cuts you off in traffic, and you get angry about it, does that mean that you're masking sadness?
No.
Well, that's what you just said.
I feel like crying is something deeper than just anger. Anger probably follows up on it because it's like something else. And also, maybe you're so upset in traffic because it triggered you in some way. Maybe something else happened a long time ago, and when that guy cut you off, you were like, ooh, that pisses me off so bad. And you're like, wait, why does this piss me off so bad? I'm just driving in my car.
Or maybe you're just angry because you got cut off and you wanted to say something?
Yes. So people were saying that like men are feminine these days, like they're like not as masculine, and I think a man crying is like very feminine and make them not masculine.
I agree.
If a guy cries, it's
an instant turn off, and like
turn off.
it's pretty much the same with all women, but they'll lie to you and say that
No, I agree.
It's not a turn off. I really like it when my man is like weeping on my shoulder,
Fuck
which is just
no.
a total fuck. Look,
I'm not saying that, but I'm not saying cry about everything in the world that ever made you ever made you mad. But I'm saying if you really feel that much emotion, to let it out and cry. I mean, that shouldn't be a problem. That should not be something that you're avoiding doing.
yeah, but do you understand why, based on what you guys all just said, which is that it's very unattractive for a man to cry? Do you understand why there are certain cultural parameters that are put up and cultural walls that are put up for men, which means that they have to find other ways to get around these emotional states? Because the reason why you're actually not very attracted to a man who cries is because every fiber of your being is designed to be attracted to a man who can be strong in hard times, right? So if he's crying, instantly you're going to think to yourself, gosh, what if something goes wrong, like financially, or what if there's an intruder, or what's he going to do? Is he just going to collapse and cry? So, I mean, if he has a family member who's just died and he's just heard the news and there's like something like crazy's just happened, you can understand that like release of emotion, because that sort of thing does happen. However, if he's just like crying all the time, then that's or crying over things that he can just sort of deal with, then that's another thing. But also, guys don't like. With me, for example, I just don't ever feel the need to do that. Like, if I've got a problem and it's like really something that's eating away at me, for the most part, I'm going to give one of my brothers a call, or I'm going to give one of my friends a call, and we're going to have a really logical conversation and we're going to fix the problem. However, if you guys are really emotional about something and you come to me about it, what do you want me to do? You want me to listen and not give you a solution. You want me to just make sure that you feel heard, right?
That's the difference between men and women.
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because men their first instinct is to, okay, so how can I fix this problem? Whereas when you talk to a woman, they're like, okay, I'm gonna let you vent, I'm gonna let you get that out. I'm not saying that a man should just cry every time there's an issue and they're so overwhelmed. I'm saying if there is, okay, wait, hold on. So
You got this?
a man shouldn't cry, every single time there's a problem. But if he can fix that problem, what would you be crying for? Okay, I understand. But if there's something so deep, someone died, and you're not crying about it, what aren't you releasing? What aren't you taking care of mentally? Because there's nothing you can do to fix that.
Earlier in the conversation, you were saying it's like a build-up of emotions, and there might be something that you think of when you were 12 that made you really sad, that when the person cut you off in traffic, you just want to cry. That was sort of your logic, that we all have these build-ups of anxiety and emotion, and we do. I mean, we're all creatures who sort of carry all different kinds of life experiences. Some of them make you sad, some of them make you happy. We're all going to die one day. We all have to sort of be cool with that at some point. And we all have hopes of heaven and fears of hell. So I understand that. However, with guys, generally, we tend to just deal with things completely different to you. Women actually enjoy crying a lot of the time. They'll sit there and they'll be like, all right, it's cry time.
Yeah, I'm going to
And I'm going to sit here for an hour and I'm just going to cry. And they can do shit like clean the dishes, or they can go like walk around their house and talk to a friend. Whereas if a guy does cry, generally that's something like that's
really serious.
It's serious, and you normally want to be completely alone, or maybe in
with that girl that's your piece.
No. or with one of your very, very close friends who you can really trust, like a serious confidant.
They all make fun of each other. Why do you feel comfortable crying in front of some men that literally they'd be like, oh, your jacket looks stupid, fool.
Hey, you think my jacket looks stupid?
No. That was just my example.
In terms of men crying in front of each other, I think that's a myth. It's something that females think that guys do. But I've had different men who have confided in me in like really, really serious times when they're going through something immense, and then they've cried in front of me. And normally it's like, I'm not going to sort of,
console you,
like pat your head for half an hour. But if that happens, then I'm going to sit there with you. I'm probably going to be silent for a little while. And then once that's done, we're going to come to a solutions-based. We're going to have a solutions-based conversation, right? Yeah. But the key difference is that when women do that to you, if you start trying to give them solutions, they're like, just shut up and just listen to me.
Because did you give the moment of silence like you did for your homeboy?
With the women, you give pretty much all silence. That's all you do.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, like, to be with a man who doesn't cry at all is not healthy. I'm not saying he should always cry. I'm not saying that it's not okay to cry.
But you have to understand that there are a lot of guys like that though, who would never cry, even if something the worst
Maybe
thing
that's
you can
not
ever
right.
imagine
I think
happened.
there is a difference between like crying and shedding tears, because crying to me sounds like you're just like
Whining about it.
like, you
Whining
know,
about
crying,
it.
and girls on the phone with their friends crying, like that's crying. If you like take a moment and like shed some tears, you can like by all means do that and not lose any respect for me, because I'll understand the situation, and if I am your piece, I will understand why that's going on. And I've had my man cry in front of me before.
Shed a
I
tear
did
and then
not
go
do
punch that punching bag you were talking about. Show me how strong you are. Come on, we're going to get through this, baby.
Well, I mean, I don't think that if you would shed a tear, then you would do that next necessarily.
Oh.
But generally speaking, there are so many guys who I know who are the most sort of emotionally intelligent, if we want to use that word, men that I know that would never shed a tear. I would never see them shedding a tear. But they're
Maybe you would never
if
see
we want to
them.
if we want to use the word emotional intelligence, then they're completely emotional intelligent, because they're completely emotionally intelligent, and the reason why is because whatever comes their way, they can process it in real time and not react to it, not have an emotional reaction to it. And I think that actually
To have
is
more control of
the
your
highest form
emotion.
of emotional intelligence.
Because to only use it when you need it.
Yeah. Whereas women these days will tend to say these guys aren't emotionally intelligent, they're not emotionally available.
Probably
because
emotionally intelligent would be crying.
what was
all the
that?
time. To be like emotionally, to not be emotionally
Well,
intelligent.
you would agree with me that generally the sentiment these days in society is that men aren't emotionally intelligent enough, and women are the emotionally intelligent ones. And the reason why is because men don't show emotion, right?
I think
if they think that an
today-
outward reflection or an outward demonstration of emotion is showing that you're emotionally intelligent.
I think today the problem is every guy shows all their emotions, and whether they do it in a aggressive or a weird way, they're still showing immense amounts of emotion. So to say like, oh, I want a guy who, you know, is emotionally intelligent would be someone who knows when their emotions are appropriate.
Here's what I think you guys really want, and I think that this would be a characteristic of everybody's dream man in here, the one who you had meant to sell yourself to before. I think that you guys would want a man who's completely stoic, doesn't have emotional reactions to you and to your outburst, is able to leave the house, go to the gym, come back and have a rational conversation, and is able to be the sort of sturdy rock face that your waves of emotion crash into.
Absolutely not.
Well, I think that
Because
the vast
why are you
majority of
ignoring
women.
my feelings?
Right. I'm
Sorry?
trying to see all sides.
So this is what women will say is that they want to have a man who they can connect with emotionally like that. But no woman really wants that. What they want is a man who's going to leave that situation if it's getting emotional and heated, and then come back later and be like, all right, we're going to have a conversation about this now.
Please don't leave me.
I don't think every woman is like that, and I don't think crying automatically equals weakness. I think that's what it is. Like, I feel like there's nothing wrong with shedding a tear. It's still handling your business. Something can hurt you, and you still find a solution to that and take a moment to cry. I don't personally view that as weakness, or I want my man to be tough all the time. That is
How would you feel though
unattractive to
if
me.
your man cried in public and your friends were there?
Oh, hell no.
I don't even cry in public. I don't
Right,
cry in
so
public, so you should.
This is what I'm saying though, and so furthering on from that last point, that generally women want a man who is, to the outside world, he's very stoic and he's like got this sort of, he's aggressive and dominant and you know, forges his own path in life. But then on like a cold Sunday morning, you want to see behind the veil, maybe just a little bit. I think that generally speaking, women tend to want that. Just in moments when he's with you, then you maybe see behind the veil a little bit.
I think the right person show you both sides. He show you his masculine, he show you his sensitive side too. It's again have to do with how available he is emotionally and mentally.